And to start off with the Obamacare debacle, and it
Well,
was a debacle.
you asked me how Trump was doing.
Yeah.
That decision was a Republican Congress decision.
Fair enough.
I think Trump went along with it to his discredit, but I think that was a Republican Congress decision. And the reason was they were under enormous amount of pressure to deliver on the signature promise that they had made, which was to repeal and replace Obamacare. Plus, they needed the money, the tax money that was going to be wiped out from Obamacare. They needed that in order to help push tax reform because they wanted to see what taxes were already gone before they went to tax reform. In the end, I think Trump learned from that to this extent. I think he's consulted far more with Congress on the tax proposal that's just come out, especially giving them a lot of say in the details, because it's only going to pass Congress if they have their own imprint on it. They've come back now, and they now have a second health care bill. The first one was botched. And apparently the Freedom Caucus has come on board.
Did you support the
No,
Freedom Caucus?
I thought they could have done a better job, and I think that both the Freedom Caucus and the moderates had problems with it. Now the Freedom Caucus is on board. They're trying to get the moderates on board.
I guess what I'm asking was the original proposal, what some labeled Obamacare Light. I did not like it. I didn't.
Well, John, look, I believe that there is no fundamental right for an American to automatically have health care on the taxpayer's dime. I do believe we have a moral obligation to help those in trouble. I do believe there have to be provisions for people with high-risk diseases, pre-existing conditions, and other things. But I do not believe that providing health care, cradle to grave, is a fundamental responsibility of the federal government.
I thought if Republicans passed it, they would now own a broken product.
Here's the problem. When Trump campaigned, and when almost every one of these Republican congressmen campaigned, did you hear any of them say, you know, I want to get rid of that ban on pre-existing conditions. I want to get rid of that, inability to discriminate on inability to discriminate on the basis of age when you're giving out health benefits.
Right.
I want to get rid of that provision that allows kids up to age 26 to stay on their parents' policy. Did you hear anyone campaigning on those things? No. So what they didn't tell people was, we want to repeal as much of Obamacare that isn't supported by 70% of the American people as we can, and then we replace as much as we can, get away with.
Will this new Freedom Caucus okay to plan? Will it make it through and win?
I think it will make through the House very narrowly. The Senate is going to be more difficult because they're going to have to make decisions about how much they push through the Senate under reconciliation, which is an arcane budget process by which you need only 50 votes plus the vice president to pass something rather than the 60 votes, which is normally the threshold for a filibuster. In theory, you can only pass things with a majority vote in the Senate if it's budget related. Well, what's budget related? There's some precedent as to whether or not the Obamacare rescissions and replacement would be included or not. It's up to the Senate parliamentarian. The Senate parliamentarian works for the Republicans, but has an independent judgment. I think they're going to have a very broad definition because the Democrats are going to play monkey wrench law. They're going to literally give them almost no votes to replace Obamacare. I don't know how much they can get through the Senate, but whatever they get through the Senate, Trump will sign. And I think that in the end, he'll be able to say, I fulfilled most of my promise.